What happens when everything you built in your career suddenly changes? I am Instructor Forte, also known as host of the Forte Effect, the place where technology, creativity, and the future of work meet. We're building what's next and being human at the same time. We keep it real along the journey. On this
Mm.
episode, we are joined by Shquila. Welcome to the Forte Effect.
Hi, everyone. I'm
Hey.
Shquila. They're
All
famous, but
right.
everybody calls me.
Oh, everyone calls you Quee.
Everyone calls me Queen.
Quee.
I think of
Okay.
my mom,
Got
I'm in trouble if I hear Shquila. Like I don't got
okay.
it. So Queen.
Okay.
Keep it
Okay.
friendly.
Quee.
Like
Keep it friendly and light. Okay.
keep it friendly.
Maybe for
Like yeah.
purposes of this, can I call you Shaquila during this
Yes,
episode?
you can.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we stay on point and we get this great information because it looks like you have a great story to actually share with us on this episode. So I introduce you as Shaquila, but
Hmm.
Shaquila, I want you to walk our audience through some of the titles that you've actually had in life and some that you still hold today.
Absolutely. Shquila has had several titles. I have been most notorious for mama, mother, wife. But in my career, I had the pleasure of being a teller, started in the financial sector for over 25 years. And I started off as a teller while I was finishing my degree in college. That transposed me all the way up into a financial sales rep. And once I actually graduated and got my degree, I went into my field, which was criminal justice and history. So I had the pleasure to go back office and start working in corporate security, where I was a part of the kite team, where we was looking at checks, trying to see how people were trying to cash to float the money. Usually when you're dealing with kites. So they are back then, checks was really big. You'll write a check, try to save the money, go spend it, try to get the money back in the bank before the check actually clears. So it's a cycle where all the checks are continuing to move, move, move. And once I finished dealing with Kite and 9/11 hit, everybody know that the world kind of changed because then we realized that domestic war was taking place, terrorism was taking place on our soil, and we realized that a lot of the people that were causing the problem was moving money in. And so that's how behind the scenes Bank Secrecy Act got started. And so then I left corporate security and went into bank secrecy. And from there, I was in that role in that field with white collar crime until I left the bank in 2021.
In
Once I left the
2021.
bank, yes, once I left the bank from dealing with bank secrecy, I had been a manager over a unit for over about 5 to 6, 7 years, making sure that everything flowed, making sure you were doing the reporting the correct way for finding out what's going on behind the scenes without going into too much information because that is classified. But I left that industry and then decided to take a break, be mom while my daughter was finishing high school. Oh, because she decided that she wanted to go to one of the IB schools and moving around with that. And I left banking and decided to open up my own business and became my own boss using all the tools that I had gained in corporate America, being successful with bringing areas that was trouble out of the red, showing how to create new products to be more efficient within those areas and training people how to be the best themselves in those roles. I knew that it was time for me to do that for self. And so that's how 619 became about. But it just was in the place of it was going to be able to be a twofold thing. One was going to be consulting, where I still kind of did to the side with some small businesses that needed help with dealing with looking for money trails and trying to see how to make sure the audits lined up. But I also did it for what you see behind me was in clothing because I had a lot of people that used to always ask me about fashion. How did you put that together? Where did you come with that concept? I would have never thought to do that. And being that I always love to style people and give them that advice and tell them how to dress, that's how 619 Freedom became about. And I made that the other subsidiary company up under that umbrella of 619.
Oh wow.
And from
Oh,
there, now to my current I'm a fifth grade teacher.
Oh, wow. You have just given
Yeah,
us an entire episode in your introduction. Well, there you go. All right, people.
it
So if
is.
you tuned in, you got all of it. So now we just got to go through the journey with her. Make sure that you stay because you don't want to miss actually what's happened.
That's
So
it.
as we digest this, so we're going to talk about some leadership,
Hmm.
unexpected transitions, and what it
Yes.
means to be an entrepreneur. Does that sound pretty good?
Sounds great. Let's
All
do it.
right. Now, from the other part of your intro on the banking side, that acronym
Yeah.
would be BSA for Bank Secrecy Act.
Bank secrecy act. Yeah.
Okay. And the
You'll hear a lot of
anti-money
people say
laundering.
more now financial crimes,
Okay.
white collar
Okay.
crime, financial crime. So you'll hear that more so than that, those acronyms.
Okay. Got you. Thank you. So now you've given us a lot with the different titles. And it's interesting because you told me off camera that you never even really thought about those. And
No,
forget the title. We want to make sure that we're being compensated correctly. So that probably would
that's
be
right.
another episode. But what did you say
Yeah.
about that? Give us a small tid on that.
I was a VP. I was a vice president under my officer title that I was given at the bank, but I never did. I never mentioned it unless, somebody just kind of knew and they asked me, do you have a title? Then I would tell them, that I'm a VP at the bank. But that didn't matter to me because, like you said before, for me, it was about the compensation. Did my money match what my title was and what my worth is that I bring to the company? So the title, it is what it is. It's just something on paper. For me, it was.
Oh, all right. So beyond all those titles, you've had
Mm,
quite a few and you're wearing a lot now.
have
And I can't wait to get into the education part. Hashtag nothing like a teacher. So
nothing like a
who
teacher.
nothing like a teacher. Who are you beyond those job titles? Who are you? How would you describe yourself?
I'm a conductor. I'm a person that brings the electrical flow to whomever I meet, the energy, the freedom to figure out who you are through me. Because usually when most people meet me, it seems like they don't mind sharing. So I don't mind being that conduit to make it so people can get what they need to get. That freedom to be themselves, to be able to laugh, to be able to cry if they need to, somebody to pray with them, but also to help guide them to where they're trying to get to. I noticed that in my life, a lot of times people when they talk to me, they feel like they are free. And that I have heard them tell me that, like, I don't never share. So I can't believe I just told you all of this. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, hey, set yourself free. It is what it is. I look at it with energy. Electricity moves through through a conductor. But also you have a person that directs an orchestra and they lead. And so I saw myself as a leader because I was able to help people learn tasks and trades that they never knew that they could do and teach them the skill sets to get there. And once it's done, they was making magic at all times. And from there, some of them left, became managers themselves, being able to take those skill set on and bless other people's with, each one teach one and passing it on. So I always wanted to make sure that when I was conducting, people was learning and being able to take it and give back to others as well.
That is an awesome way to look at yourself. And since you are conducting quite a bit tonight, I do have my paper and pen readily available. So
Oh,
I am
wonderful.
taking notes. I'm scribing here. So you use AC, alternating current, and direct current. You
Hmm.
brought in some science with it. Your educator
Yeah.
side is coming out. Kudos on that one. And being a conductor with the energy flow. So I like that. That was
Hmm.
wonderful
Thank you.
through throughout there and the consistency and the flow.
Hmm.
What leadership traits do you believe have stayed consistent for you throughout life?
Oh, accountability. Accountability has stayed consistent through my transition with leadership, but also training people to stay focused and to distract and to not feed they to stay focused and lead the distractions where they need to be so they can be able to hit their target. Being able to understand that whatever you do, you gotta own it. That's the failures as well as the success. Own it because it's all a lesson. regardless of what it is. All your successes is nothing but built up lessons that you go through in life. So own it and being focused on whatever you do. You're going to have valleys, but regardless of the valleys, you're going to go through them. You don't need to be waddling. Just keep moving forward. Stay the course, regardless of whatever you do. Stay the course. And then my other piece, the last thing, was being able to take problem resolution. I'm still strong with that. I still do that to this day. That's my passion. I love fixing things that are broken or that just troubled at the moment that just need a little guidance. Like I said, that conductor piece, getting it back on track. And I love the ones that are the biggest challenge, not the small. I love the ones that's the most complex because I notice I thrive with trying to analyze those things and get them back on point.
Oh wow. Complexity there. So what jumps out to me is the first word that you use is accountability. And I
Hmm.
remember one day seeing you in action at the bank, and you leveraged the resources that you had to
Yeah.
help keep people accountable. Will you take the audience through a tool that you created? And they're going to be surprised by this to help keep your team accountable. Y'all get ready for it.
A thermometer. I got a piece of paper and I drew a thermometer, hand drew the thermometer myself, put the Fahrenheit Celsius on there, and we took it up all the way until we got it to 100%, trying to get the numbers up when it came to opening accounts. And so, being that we was kind of at the bottom at that point, we had a lot of work to do within a month time frame, and they bought into it. They saw it. They had fun in the meetings, being able to go and track and color in. The energy was high with it, and we hit it. And by that month, we hit that target.
That now, y'all, that is some real leadership because she took what she had and she made it her own to benefit the team so that they actually could stay focused. But if you
Hmm.
all have seen this bad Joker, I'm saying really, it wasn't anything fancy. As much as I love
It was
technology, it was something written. It was like a poster board she had gotten. She didn't get a colorful poster board. She got a white poster board.
white.
And she really drew it and used a black marker, and the
Yeah,
thermometer did have the little red. So it was interesting to see, but she's right. They bought into it, they own it, and they hit their targets and surpassed the goal. So I was
yeah,
highly surprised, but it really inspired them.
it
So
did.
thank you for sharing that with us, in particular the audience, seeing that visual what you created. It wasn't
It was.
anything in a software.
That
It
was the
was
first match that struck that made me realize that hey, I can lead, and people can buy into my vision. That was the first match that when that happened. I knew then.
oh wow. That's good. So let's keep that here now and
Hmm.
move further into what does leadership mean to you now? What does it mean now at this point?
Leadership means to me now trusting the process and obedience. And I say that because everything has a pace and everything has a time to hit to where it's supposed to be. It's destiny. It's written on your DNA when you were born. But once I learned to be obedient to the voice of God, to understand that He's leading the charge and the purpose, and not to get ahead of Him and take Quee out, take Shquila out. That we're going by Shquila today. Take Shquila out and just trust the process to know that every step is orchestrated for something. Everything that you do has a place. Music, every instrument has a place. So when you look at your life in a place of music and everything is working like it's supposed to, it's a beautiful sound that's going to come out of it. The rhythm is going to be intact. The speed is going to be intact. So it's just learning to be accountable, trust the process, and stay obedient to the charge. And you ain't gonna lose. That's what success look like to me now. Trusting my process, being obedient, and enjoying every process of it.
Oh wow. So do you feel that that shift might have happened for you even more so over the past few years?
Yes. It happened when I left the bank.
Wow.
Believe it or not, it happened when I became my own boss for myself. When I realized that banking was where I had to go and build and learn me. I was a control freak and I wanted to be the best at what I did. So I put a lot of energy into it for someone else. So once I realized that I should bet on self, it was on. But they gave me the tools. Being in leadership in corporate America gave me the tools to be successful, to run my own business, and help me to take that energy and use it in the classroom.
Oh wow. So without sharing, anything confidential
Yeah,
prior to you leaving the bank, did you start to feel anything within that a shift could be happening within you as a person, as a
yeah,
person that's growing? Because when I met you, you were working at UAB, you were working at the bank back then when we were in
yes,
college. So you had been in banking a long time.
yes. I did. I felt the shift. That 2020 is when the shift happened. I started to notice things was changing. I always got a vision at the end because I always took the last 2 weeks out in December.
Okay.
And that's when I would use that time to reflect, to go back, go over what the year encompassed, the wins, the losses, the things that I know that what I was going to have to do with my team for the following year to make sure we stay on track. And so that year, my vision was getting my team ready to handle not only what happened with business, but personal for some reason, when my vision gave me that, getting them prepared. So when I 2020 in and I didn't get the vision of what to do, and I just came in and I told them, hey, y'all, you hit your target 100-fold in 2020. See, can you beat yourself? That was it.
Wow.
See, can you beat yourself?
Hmm.
Because we have worked, we have trained, you are equipped to do what you need to do to be successful. We know that we can hit targets. We know that we make magic around here. So now do a personal goal, just beat yourself. Whatever you had last year, beat it. And that was it. But it wasn't anything that I was talking about for the company wise. So that was when I knew my shift was fit to take place. I had already known that it was happening probably about 2 years in. Prior to that, like 2019, I started to feel it because of how my leadership was changing, how I was, bridging my team to make sure everybody was cross-trained. Everybody knew how to do certain things. And so I knew something was coming. And so when that happened, I knew then, hey, and when he said move, that was it.
Oh wow. So you kind of felt some of this happening 2019 at the end of
Yeah,
2020.
yeah,
Usually you have a couple of things on the agenda to look at, but this time the agenda was set up a little bit different.
yeah.
So as the mindset started to shift and things were happening, you were actually moving forward and maybe didn't even realize it. But when this was happening and when you transitioned, was there any moment when you felt stuck?
Hmm. Stuck in the role.
Just like
Yes.
with the okay, okay,
Yeah, with the mind shift, yeah, just I knew that was it. Like, what else is for me to do? I felt like I had checked all my boxes.
okay,
I hit the money side, check.
okay,
I hit a team that was like a well-oiled machine, lack of better words,
okay,
check.
check,
I had got to the point where I was creating things and seeing things being used that I created without the accountability being given to me.
okay,
Check. So at that point, I knew it was there. I had did everything that I was designed and needed to be able to run my own. I had dealt with people that gave you pushback, check, so I can
okay,
get practice with that. Running a team, check, check. I had been doing that for years. So,
Wow.
that started when I was like in my 20s. I was 23 probably when I started managing.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
s- yeah.
Okay.
So I had already hit so many various milestones that I wanted to be able to do and tackle. So by the time we got to this piece and I saw where there was no more room for growth, I knew then that I was stuck and he wasn't going to leave me stagnant because he had
Mm,
continued to build me. He knew I was CEO material. So my plan was already set. It's a matter of I don't need you complacent and thinking this was your end goal because it's not.
because it's not. And you know what?
It's not.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. And I hope our audience does too. You were able to analyze, you checked a lot of the boxes, and you knew that it was
Hmm.
time for a shift. And with that being said, we're going to shift into something else that you walked into, and that is the freedom. So we
Freedom.
move further into the entrepreneurship, the freedom side. You're glowing, you look radiant. You
Yeah.
don't have to tell us about what you're actually styled in tonight, but as we move into your freedom side, your true
Mm,
freedom, you being the boss of your
mm,
own, the
yeah.
CEO, why 619 freedom? Why?
The title came about because
Yeah.
A is my birthday.
Okay.
6/19 is my birthday. So to me, that was like the birthing
Okay.
something new. Freedom came about that now I'm my own person, I'm my own entity, I'm my own brand. So that's a freedom in that. I only answer to me.
Yes.
I set the stage. All my blueprint stays with me because they're mine. And no one could take them unless I voluntarily gave them to you. So if I didn't voluntarily give it to you, all of it stays here with
Let's
me.
go back there. Let's go back there. Rewind. No need for edits if you're listening.
Yeah,
Go back to Blueprint because y'all need to hashtag and make sure that y'all tell them where you heard this from. What about the
yeah.
Blueprint?
The blueprint is yours. Nobody can take it if you created it, you designed it, you making sure you got all your marks in the way. It's yours. It's an original. Nobody can duplicate that. They can try. They may can make a dummy of it, but they'll never be able to be successful in it because they never knew the brand. They never knew the work that comes with it, the foundational piece. So they'll never be able to make it better than what it was because the person that owns it stays with you.
Mm, the person that owns it, the person that owns the Blueprint, it stays
It's
with
you.
you.
It
Now,
stays with you.
in your okay, in your previous career field in banking, how many years were you in it? Over 20?
25.
25 years in banking. So I can imagine in the spaces I've been in, I've seen people try to get a copy of your blueprint or take some of the elements away from it and then present it
Yeah.
like it's their
They're
own.
all,
So I know you've seen it, and I am so
yeah.
happy that you knew that you could run with your own freedom and be the CEO, and no one
Hmm.
is going to take this, from me.
All right.
You've already explained, like what freedom means with that. So, how would you say success versus security has changed? How do you look at that now?
Success is like I said, is trusting the process and being obedient. So that's what changed for me because beforehand I was thinking that I needed the security of what the other industry and other people offered me because they paid my check.
Okay.
But the security came when I realized that I can learn how to balance my own finances, make sure I'm making the right decisions early, setting the stage so that when I did walk away, I would be secure. And now
Ooh,
taking what I know, use it for my good, and watch it continue to grow. So that became my security. Even if you have moments where you have bumps in the road, and trust me, I have,
yes.
and you will at
Yes.
times.
Mhm.
Still picking up the pieces, not giving up, continue to flow, trust your process. Because if the process worked before, it'll work again. You just got to put it into motion. And then next time, be a better source of handling your business when you do it. Be a good steward.
Yes. Yeah.
Be a good steward.
I like what you said. If the process worked before, it'll work
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And that stretches our leadership muscle of
Hmm.
trust. In
Yeah.
addition to your trust growing, what other leadership muscle do you feel like grew when you walked into
Hmm.
619 freedom?
Being able to run all aspects because beforehand I was not HR. I
Okay.
was not benefits.
Okay.
I was not procurement. I I learned that delegation is beautiful when you have a team and you're your best self when you have a team with you. You're not an island. You can't do it alone.
Snap, snap.
You can't do it alone. So once I had a good year in with 619, I was able to add staff models, instead of me having to take all the pictures or
Mm-hmm.
just me and my girls taking the pictures, being able to add staff in with their models, having someone to actually that dealt with my photography piece without me having to try to use phones to actually invest in, using a company to do that. Um, Hiring young students that were able to help their work dealing with the tech side piece, with putting the stuff on Instagram and on the social sites, because that was never my favorite thing to do, trying to work all of the social sites. So once I realized I had a team that can help with things, I was able to free up my mind to be the creative source that I like to do. I like being creative. I love styling. I love helping people to figure out the freedom to be them in fashion and how it makes them be a confidence to be able to move and do whatever they're trying to do, whether it's in the corporate world, their social life, or beyond.
Okay. You said a lot there. So tell us what's something about entrepreneurship that people don't see.
The late hours, um, the prayers that go with trying to make sure that you have the funding to do what you need to do. The headaches of knowing that you ain't got consistent money that may come in. It takes
Mm-hmm.
time to build it. And that you have to make sure you're prepared to be able to go through those moments when it's a dry season.
Wow. That's I hope
Because
y'all are taking
you have
notes.
moments when it's dry. That building stage is there. And you hear a lot of people say them first 5 years are your toughest. And they ain't lying.
Okay. First 5 years are the toughest.
They're the toughest.
They are the toughest. So the freedom that you wear today, I will say that you are beautifully styled, and it would be a guest of mine that you are in some 619 freedom pieces. So, or you're wearing a piece. So, can you tell us about that and how did you actually select your look for this episode?
Oh, I want a regal. I wanted something that has some Roman appeal to it, some
Okay.
sass and personality. So that's what made me decide to put this top on today. To kind of give it the bow. I love because my neck is long. So I think about that when I'm on camera, usually when I'm doing talking events. I like to have something that kind of go up so that I can
Mm-hmm.
have a fullness with my face. To make it so it don't seem like it's just face, neck, deal. And so I wanted a royalty look for today. It show freedom that I own what, and I'm a owner. I'm a boss. And I don't really like to
Okay.
say boss too much, but I'm a CEO. I run my own
You are.
company.
You
I'm a
are.
leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have fun, and I'm just gonna go ahead and insert one. I actually met you at UAB. We were in
Uh-oh.
biology class. We were in biology, y'all. So if you're listening, she doesn't really like the word boss, but she definitely looked like one in biology class. So here I am. I was wearing a hoodie, camouflage pants, and some combat boots, and she set up a couple of rows higher than me. I don't really want to call her stiff, but it did appear a
I
little
was.
stiff. She was stiff.
Mhm.
Her leather jacket, her turtleneck
Turtleneck.
that actually came all the way up her neck, and this nice gold chain. And she sat there and she held her face. I thought we were in a board meeting.
And I still have
Her,
it.
yeah. Oh, she still has that chain, y'all. Okay, I
Yeah.
got to get a picture of that. I got to get a picture of that chain before we actually end this episode. So her structure, her demeanor, her disposition. Some people use the word boss loosely, but she carried that sense of ownership. And you're talking about I think we were juniors at UAB at that point.
Yeah.
I don't think we were seniors. So, and for
Nope.
those of you that actually went to UAB, it was in Dr. Jenkins' biology class. That was my second time taking his class. No
Mine's
judgment
too.
zone. Hers too. But we found a mutual understanding there. But she definitely
Yeah, we
looked
did.
like one. So I don't know how we ended up here, but guess what? The shift happened. So we go from corporate to the classroom.
Mm.
How did you first get into teaching or being involved with students? Kind of walk us through some of that.
How I became involved with students, my first involvement was through you.
Oh, okay.
Was through you. Um, you was doing Gear Up at just Lanier, that great class of '08.
Yes.
And you used to do this fun little event for them to celebrate their achievements.
Yes.
And I volunteer. I used to volunteer every year to come and be a part to celebrate your students' achievement. So that was my first encounter with education. Was looking at it on the achievement side, recognizing kids' greatness, and you had all kinds of things you recognize. You didn't just base it on academics. You looked at their spirit, um, how they act with other people, so you always had something. Every child received something. You always acknowledge them. So that was the first thing. Second thing is when you was with Ed Foundation, and I used to volunteer with them. And being that I was in the finance sector, I was able to do Shark Tank. And so I was
Yeah.
able to hear those kids do those brilliant pitches um, to me and some other great people that, that was in those roles. And so and then from there, once
Mm-hmm.
I left banking and started 619, I started volunteering with a church organization, Discovery Club, where it was a Christian base where we went and taught the Bible to inner city schools. And I did that for all the way up until I got into my teaching role and started doing substitute teaching for that year. And so that helped me to understand with dealing with lessons, preparing my lessons, how I'm gonna present my lessons to kids. And it was always elementary school students. I wasn't never drawn to secondary education with the higher kids. I was always drawn to the little kids for some reason, which was amazing. I never thought that was gonna happen, y'all. Trust that. But so that's how I end up getting into the education piece from serving in a stewardship world, which is, volunteering, to ending up actually getting into subbing. And then once from subbing, it generated into an actual full-time position.
Oh wow. So that is good. We hear the power of relationships. We
Mm,
hear the power of connections. We hear modeling what education could actually look like. We also
hmm.
hear non academic successes that we can celebrate with our students that
Yeah,
sometimes we often overlook.
yeah.
So, you talked about maybe some of the skills that transferred. Now, on this education piece, how do you think education is actually shaping the future workforce?
Ooh, that used to my favorite thing that I love to do, analyze.
Okay.
The kids are being trained to be more analytical and looking at various ways to come up with their solutions. Back in when we were growing up, a lot of our stuff was more memorization.
Hmm.
You had to read, see Jack run, see James skip or something.
Yeah.
You knew how to just do certain things. And even when it came to math and numbers, it was like a multiplication fact. You just knew that you had to learn to stand up there, recite them real quick to get your little check on the thing to be able to move on to the next one. But now they are actually looking at ways to make kids have various outlets to be able to get to the same solution.
Mm.
So whereas one student may can do it through memorization, another one may need to draw it, and another one may need visual. But whatever it is, they get to use those various analytical tools to get to what they need to get to, which is so important now because everything is so tech driven and things are so analyzed.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a lot more of these kids into technology. And to me, with technology being what it is, you got to be able to kind of analyze to see how to put all these pieces together. All these creators, seeing so many kids already, running their own corporations and business at such a young age, that takes a lot of grit, a lot of things being put into components and shifts that ain't nothing but analyzing to the 10th power.
It is. It is. And you said something really important when you talked about the skills of a student being able to analyze, fit with technology, and as we move the future forward,
Yeah,
I'm reflecting on when we went to the Silicon Valley out in California a few years
yeah,
ago and went out there. Google I/O was happening,
yeah.
and we didn't see a lot of people that actually look like us. So for the work that you're doing
Mhm,
with your students
mhm.
currently now and how you transition from volunteering, showing up at Just Lanier in Bessemer, Alabama back in the days, staying on course with the Ed Foundation, Discovery
Yeah.
Club. You entered into a substitutes role and it transitioned into a viable career path for you. I thank you. I thank you for having the tenacity to stick with it because education is not the easiest career field to navigate, but you described it pretty eloquently. And
Mhm.
based on what you said, I feel confident knowing that our future has great educators that are taking care of our students now.
Oh yeah, we
Thank you.
do.
Thank you.
I'm having a ball. I'm learning a lot from them.
Yeah.
The kids teach you a lot if you're just listening and be welcome to receive
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
they're just little small humans with big brains that just need developing. But they have great ideas. They ask great questions, stuff that you wouldn't even think about that makes you say, yourself. So, yeah, our future
Okay.
is bright with the kids we got coming up in the world. We do.
All right. Our
We do.
future is bright with the children that we have coming up in the world. And as
Mhm.
we transition going into our couple of last segments and we think about children and our legacy, you have
Mm,
two precious daughters.
I do.
You do.
I do.
And kudos to them for being your daughters, your jewels, as you say.
Mhm.
What do you feel? How have you modeled resilience as a mother?
Oh, I will hope that my modeling of resilience reflects hard work, um, staying determined, never giving up, walking in your destiny, your dreams, um, fighting for what you believe is right, staying to your guns, being vocal, learning how to utilize the power of the pen, um, and doing it with a smile and while being gracious at the same time, being a lady, because you can easily lose yourself with the ugly, and it can cause you to not know how to handle your emotional, mental appeal. So being able to know that you can do it with a smile, even when it hurts. That's what I hope they get from me. Hard work, um, never giving up on your dreams, walking in your vision, putting in the time and the energy to learn your craft so you can be the best at it and just go for it. Don't worry about if you have ups and downs with it. Just go for it. At least try it. That way you don't have no regrets. I have tried a
Wow.
lot of businesses from Mary Kay, real estate,
Okay.
all while doing banking.
Yes.
So just do it. Know
Just
that
do
it's
it. Go
okay.
for it.
Just do it. Yeah,
Just do it. Go for it.
just do it.
And with your lessons with your daughters in particular,
Mm.
a role that I've seen you honor is being a daughter, and a unique tradition that I've noticed that you and your family have. It's a trip that you all take. Enlighten our
Mhm.
audience on something that you do to pay homage to your mother the same way your
Yeah.
daughters are watching you. Tell us a little about that.
Oh man, The Rock, my mom. Oh, ever since they turned 60, my mom was a twin,
Okay.
my aunt. And ever since they turned 60, we do a mother-daughter trip. Something we all look forward to every year. We take them wherever they want to go, and we spoil them right that whole trip. From what they want to eat to what they want to do, what they want to have fun. It don't matter. We've been doing this since they turned 60. They'll turn 70 soon. They're
Oh wow.
69. No, actually, no. 69 was last year. We'll turn 70 this year. So we're looking forward to a big trip this year.
Oh wow.
We in the process of planning that one. We're looking for a big trip. We turned 70. It's a milestone year. So we're gonna have some fun. Let's see which island we can go lay
Oh
out at.
wow. I
Yeah,
might need to crash that trip and see can I document
yes.
it
But yeah,
or kind of.
that's a joy to be able to give back because my mom instilled so much virtue and value in myself and my sister that we both hold dear, all the way to how she loved on her grandgirls, because it's we a house of ladies, little girls and ladies. You know, she wanted girls, she was blessed to have girls. She wanted granddaughters, she's blessed to have granddaughters from both of us. And so it's a joy to be able to give back and be able to, spoil her and make her smile with that, as well as my aunt, because she's like the second mom to us. They act I almost got it just like how they both are. So to be able to do that, my cousin as well as my sister and I, for them, I want to change it for the world. I want to change it for the world.
That's wonderful. I can't wait to see the pictures from your sister. We know that you probably won't share any, but your sister or your cousin, I look forward to seeing the pictures from the mother daughters trip.
Historians, they're the
Yeah,
historians. They take the
that's
pictures.
okay. Thank you. You're the conductor, they're the historian. So we look forward to seeing
Yep,
those pictures a little bit
that's
later
it.
on this year.
That's
Now,
it.
as you spoke of your mom and your family there, what is your hometown? Like, where did you originate from? Let's give some shots out to your roots. Like, where did you come from? Where are you
I'm
from?
from Opelika, Alabama, Lee County.
Okay. Okay, Lee
Lee
County,
County,
Opelika.
Opelika.
All right.
Yes.
And that sits near
Class of
what? Because
96,
class
Opelika
of
High School.
1996.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what
Mhm.
is y'all like metro area? Like, what are y'all on the outside of? What's your biggest town or
Auburn.
popular? Auburn. All right. Okay. So,
Auburn. A lot of people know Auburn. They know Phoenix City going down
okay.
towards Columbus. So, but yeah, Auburn is it.
All right. Well,
Just a little
your
sign
town.
that separates us.
Okay, your town is a lot bigger than Aliceville. Aliceville's only 2,000 people, so Opelika I think is about 11, 12,000 people.
Hmm.
Your town is much bigger than mine. So as we move into another piece, and this is getting good. This is gonna be our real talk clip. We got three. It's kind of like rapid fire, but we gonna call this real talk. You ready?
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
You got two choices. You pick one:
Okay.
peace or a paycheck.
Peace.
Stability or freedom?
Stability. Because if I
Title?
got stability, I got freedom. Okay. Go ahead.
Mm.
Okay.
Title or alignment?
Alignment.
Title, alignment. Okay. Okay.
Alignment. Yeah.
All right.
Give me my peace. Give me my stability. And that means everything gonna align.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
So, for women that might be listening, to this
Hmm.
episode, what is some advice you would give to them as they're navigating change?
Ooh. The advice I would give them if they're navigating change would be, again, trust the process. Don't give up. Keep going. I promise you it's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. Just trust the process and please stay obedient. What voice you're hearing from God, follow it. Don't deviate, don't go left, don't go right. Stay the course. Trust the process. I promise you, you will be smiling. Even when it feel like, ooh, at the end, you're gonna be like, hey, I see now. Yes, this works. If trust the process. Trust the process.
Okay. And what is your one word for this chapter?
Peace.
Peace. Why? Why that word?
I choose peace because I'm happier. I don't feel confined. I feel that I'm moving in my own rhythm that makes sense to me. And if I'm pouring out, I need to be full. I can't lead if I'm not full. They won't get the best me. They won't get the best me. So with me being at peace, I'm settled, I'm calm, I'm able to control my emotions better, so that I can make wiser decisions and just enjoy life. So me now, I dance in the rain because I'm like, hey, beforehand I'd be, it's raining, can't get that done. Now it's like, let's get it, tango, let's have some fun.
Oh my, that is so good. You switched. Different perspective.
Yes,
You're not as stiff as you used to be.
right, because I was
Yeah.
so. I mean, I remember telling you one day that I just gotta be in control. I gotta
Yeah.
have my control. I remember that moment. So it feels good to not have to still be in control, but to handle the control better
Yes.
without it feel like it's a noose around my neck and that it control me. But
I lost.
am I-
I think.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I control the control, not the other way around.
Oh wow. That's good.
So I'm at peace. I am.
That's a beautiful thing. And you're right. I do remember when you told me that and my reaction because you had the arms and the
Yeah.
motions to you
Yeah.
felt as if things should be like a well-oiled machine. And I had never heard that description before. And your take on and wanted to be in control. And it kind of
Hmm.
caught me off guard, but I navigated through. So, looking at everything you've navigated, what do you feel? What is your forte now? What is your forte at this point?
My forte now is that I can do anything, even stuff that I didn't realize that I had the power to do, and that I'm willing to try it and do it with a smile and give it my all.
Perfect. And what do you want women to take away from your story with this episode? Or not just women, anyone listening, what can they take away from your story?
You're so free to be whoever you want to be, which is my mantra for my business at 619 Freely. You're so free to be whoever you want to be. Classy lady, to a little bit of ratchet in the bedroom if you need to be. Corporate, reserved, spirited, light, and full. But the main thing I hope that in all of what you're deciding to be in your freedom, you're at peace with it, and that you can make reason of why you're where you are. And as always, be obedient and trust the
Good.
process.
Good. So where you are now, if people wanted to follow 619 Freedom or check you
Please
out
do.
or see how they can stay connected, how can they actually follow you, or is there a website or anything? Please tell our audience.
Yes. 619, a nice, classy women's online boutique. And you can shop till you drop at www.619freedom.com.
All right.
Again, that is www.619freedom.com.
All right. And is that your social media handle too for
It's so
619
free
Freedom?
to be. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's so free.
619, so free.
Okay, 619 so free. So if
So
you want to
free.
follow 619 Freedom and see what's happening there, you're able to do so on social. So, and what
Mhm.
we've heard today, that it's not the end. It's a redefinition. Is
That's
there
it.
any is there anything else that you think that our listeners need to hear? Anything else coming from you before we go out?
Just remember you have the blueprint. You are the author and the finisher of whatever you decide to do. Own it. Accountability is the key. Stay the course, stay focused, feed your focus, starve your distractions. And you got it.
Mm. Starve your distractions, and as tempting as it
Starve your
might be,
distractions.
as tempting as it might be for us to continue this episode, we're going to go ahead and exit. This is your host, Forte. We've enjoyed 619 Freedom, affectionately known as Quee, with us on this episode. And this has been the Forte Effect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.